Yesterday, in front of a liquor store in Beverly Hills, an unarmed 17-year-old white kid was shot 16 times in the back by an African-American police officer. Want to know why you haven't heard about this story? Because it didn't happen. I mean, come on. But I wonder if it did. I mean, think about it. What would happen if a black cop actually shot and killed a 17-year-old unarmed teen? I can only speculate what would happen if there was a protest. I wonder, would there be riots? Would young whites burn down their own buildings in Beverly Hills? Or would there be controlled focus that burned the black cop with a precision beam of heat through a microscope? And if they decided not to purchase something, would it be just for one day, such as Black Friday? Or would it be for the whole year? Or as long as it needed to be until change happened? Until there was so much pressure that action would have to be taken? Would they demand the black officers be fired and thrown in jail for murder? Would the black officer be automatically tried in the court of public law and executed on the basis of hearsay? I wonder if the black cop would defend his actions by saying that he felt like his life was in danger. I doubt we would believe him. I question if the other cops would stand behind the black cop. Would the chief of police give a statement saying that the unarmed 17-year-old white kid fit the description of another 17-year-old white kid in the same area and lunged at the black cop, and the black cop had no choice but to fire 16 times in the back? And what would happen when the parents spoke at a press conference with tears rolling down their face, explaining how they loved their boy and how he just graduated and was off to college. The next day was going to get married, become a doctor. He was such a good kid. I wonder, would the world believe him? I wonder if Twitter would find words to tear them down in 140 characters or less. I wonder if the nation would cry more for the loss of life than for the black officer who ended that life. I wonder if the picture they showed on TV would be a picture of a white kid posing like a gangster with a joint in his mouth, or would it have been a picture of him posing with his little sister, or feeding the family pet, or maybe at his graduation. After all, he was such a good kid. I wonder whose side would the public perception be on. Was this a bad kid, or was he just a kid who did kid things that kids do, did things he would have regretted if he lived past 17 years? Only they happened not to be in the wrong place with the wrong cop shooting 16 times at them, like they were mad at them, like they were animals, like they had no right to be kids, like there was no other way to discipline this unarmed 17-year-old white kid other than to shoot and kill him and leave him on the street dead for 4 hours. I wonder how many fans would the black cop have? I wonder how much money would be raised by the black cop, and how much money would be raised for the white unarmed 17-year-old kid. I wonder how many people would hold rallies for him, support him to no end, stand by him no matter how hot it would get. I wonder if around the same time, an 18-year-old white man was shot and murdered by another black officer. Then a week later, a 26-year-old white man was choked to death by 3 African-American officers. Then a month later, a 12-year-old white kid was shot by a rookie cop by holding a plastic gun. And then 4 weeks after that, a 21-year-old white man was shot in Walmart, and another one walking down a flight of stairs. If white kids started dying at the hands of black cops so often, I wonder, would white people stand up and take notice? Would they wonder what in the world is going on? Would they allow it to keep happening? I wonder. But to be honest, I really don't wonder. I already know what would happen. It would be the end of the story. The poem would have been over after the first white unarmed kid got shot. The black officer would be crucified in the media and left out in the cold by the other cops, vilified by the parents of every parent in the nation. A picture of the black cop would be posted all over the internet of the black cop in his worst moment. All of a sudden, the black cop would be the enemy. No questions asked. Black people also know this. Black cops know this. That is why you never hear a story about an African-American police officer shooting a white unarmed teen in the back 16 times, because we know what would happen. End of story, end of poem. Thank you.
That was Poetri. Before that, it was Laurel, and before that, it was Hannah. Give it up for those people.